Yearning for American freedom.
This is a Chinese illegal immigrant who has just crossed the U.S.-Mexico border. He spent $35,000 on this journey. Why did he come to the United States? Is he a Chinese spy, or is he truly seeking democracy and freedom in the U.S.? If he is truly seeking freedom and democracy, why did he not choose Japan or South Korea, which are geographically closer? These options would not only take less time but also save a significant amount of travel expenses. Theoretically, these countries have relatively similar cultures and living habits. Let's start with this photo. This image provides an overview of the destinations where Chinese immigrants migrated to in 2023. We can see that the number of immigrants to the United States is nearly 3 times that of the second-place country. But why haven't Japan and South Korea become the preferred destinations? To answer this question, I searched the Chinese internet and found the answer. Mastering the local language is essential for long-term living in another country, and may be even more important than individual abilities. However, many illegal immigrants still rely on translation software for communication. What makes them feel that learning the language is not important? Chinatown is an area where Chinese immigrants have settled, and it exists in many countries around the world. Here, you don't need to obtain a legal work visa to find employment. You can find work and live entirely according to the Chinese way of life in Chinatown, where you can fully immerse yourself in a Chinese-speaking environment. In this setting, there is no need to learn the local language. Additionally, the number and scale of Chinatowns in Japan and South Korea are far smaller compared to those in the United States. This situation makes it easier for illegal immigrants to stay long-term in the United States compared to Japan and South Korea. As a major immigrant-receiving country, the United States has been relatively lenient in its treatment of illegal immigrants. Additionally, the lack of an agreement between China and the U.S. makes it difficult for the U.S. to deport Chinese illegal immigrants. However, this still does not fully explain why the United States has the highest number of immigrants. Let's rewind to China in 1980. As the country embarked on its reform and opening up policy, it started to draw extensively on the United States' experiences in technology and economics. During this period, a group known as public intellectuals emerged. These individuals, having observed the rapid development and achievements of the United States, wrote numerous articles that highlighted the perceived superiority of. Some of their writings went so far as to suggest that, in every aspect, foreigners, particularly Americans, performed better than the Chinese. This perspective reflected their admiration for the West's advancements and innovations. After the dissolution of the Soviet Union in 1991, more public intellectuals came to believe that the capitalist system was inherently more advanced than the socialist system, which undoubtedly bolstered their confidence in their views. In order to allow more Chinese people to experience the benefits of liberal democracy, these intellectuals increasingly promoted the ideals of freedom and democracy through magazines and other media outlets. With the rise of social media, this subtle propaganda intensified, proving to be quite effective. Indeed, a small segment of the Chinese population did express a longing for liberal democracy, but this longing did not fully align with the expectations of the public intellectuals. In this propaganda, exaggerated descriptions such as $1 fried chicken and $1 mansions led many Chinese to believe these claims. At the same time, a group of people began attributing all their misfortunes to issues within Chinese society and the government. believing that moving to a liberal democratic country, especially the United States, would guarantee a significantly better quality of life than in China. This mindset gradually reinforced their belief that the U.S. is the premier destination for freedom and democracy. This perception is one of the most important reasons why immigration to the United States far exceeds that to other countries. Up until now, we have not been able to determine whether they are spies. Let's examine the experiences of these illegal immigrants in China. This is an illegal immigrant who crossed the U.S.-Mexico border. Chinese people affectionately call him Donut.
甜甜圈真好吃。
Let's briefly introduce his experiences in China. Donut, whose real name is Wang Weiheng, began posting on Jihu, China's version of Quora, in 2011 and amassed 20,000 followers. In 2017, he expressed opposition to Bitcoin and declared his belief in communism. In 2018, he was accused of domestic violence against his wife and claimed that she had caused him to develop heart disease, depression, and bipolar disorder. His parents eventually stopped supporting him due to these issues. Additionally, many netizens reported him, leading to the suspension of his Jihu account. In 2021, Donut started investing in Bitcoin and engaged in leverage trading. The need to constantly monitor the market led to poor living habits. He complained to the authorities about noise from a nearby kindergarten during the day, citing his health conditions, heart disease, depression, and bipolar disorder, as reasons why he could not tolerate the noise. When his complaints went unaddressed, he took extreme measures by using a loudspeaker to verbally abuse the kindergarten. Soon after, the kindergarten reported the incident to the police. During the confrontation with law enforcement, Donut engaged in physical altercations with the officers, which led to his detention. While in custody, unable to access any electronic devices, his Bitcoin investments were liquidated, leaving him with substantial debt. Faced with financial difficulties, Donut planned to travel to the United States. However, possibly due to his heavy debt or his military service history, the visa officer denied his tourist visa application. Subsequently, an immigration intermediary offered him an alternative plan, which involved entering the U.S. through illegal means. This is a summary of his experiences in China. To date, Chinese netizens believe that he may have passed away in the United States, as Donut has been out of contact for nearly a month, and his friends have been unable to reach him. Next, let's look at the story of another individual who is currently striving to reach the world of freedom and democracy. This person is named Fan Shigui, hereafter referred to as Fan. Fan has a limited public record in China. According to available information, he graduated from Renmin University of China and worked as a civil servant. However, he was dismissed for violating regulations. After leaving his government job, Fan attempted to start a business, but it did not succeed. Some sources suggest that he was listed as a dishonest debtor and may have been involved in illegal fundraising activities. In 2017, Fan applied for a U.S. visa but was denied, possibly due to issues related to his civil servant background or financial status. His applications for European visas were also rejected. Fan believed that his inability to obtain a tourist visa might be due to the fact that he is Chinese. Frustrated by these setbacks, Fan traveled to Cambodia, planning to obtain residency there before attempting to go to the United States again. Due to financial constraints, he worked in Cambodia for some time. During this period, Fan reportedly expressed a desire for his daughter to join the Ukrainian military to gain Ukrainian citizenship, and used that as a stepping stone to reach the U.S., but his daughter refused. When asked by netizens why he did not go himself, Fan cited his age as a reason. Later, Fan left his wife and daughter in Cambodia and sought refugee status in the Netherlands. Netizens have expressed skepticism about this move, questioning whether Fan had sufficient funds to travel from Cambodia to the Netherlands. Based on various analyses and signs, some netizens speculate that Fan may have sold his wife and daughter to Chinese individuals in Cambodia in exchange for $18,000. Some bloggers have claimed that Fan's wife and daughter were involuntarily made organ donors. Other reports suggest that, due to media pressure, local Chinese individuals returned his wife and daughter to him, and Fan refunded the $18,000 he had received. In a recent live stream, however, Fan stated that his wife and daughter are in Bosnia and Herzegovina and are preparing to join him in the Netherlands. He also mentioned that due to the fall of the Assad government in Syria, the Netherlands has imposed a complete ban on new refugees, making it unlikely for his wife and daughter to join him. Additionally, he expressed concerns about being deported himself. Given the lack of concrete evidence, I am unable to determine the current status of Fan's wife and daughter. Based on the cases discussed above, from the perspective of a Chinese person, I believe that they are not spies. They are genuinely pursuing their own ideals. This concludes the content of this video. If you have any questions or topics you'd like to understand better regarding how Chinese netizens view certain issues, give us a comment.